What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Over 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. This is so cool. So cool. I really did not expect to get here this fast. It's so cool. So, new video. Let's dive in. In this video, I want to show you how to make some minimal deep tech chords for your tracks. So, let's go. In this project, I just have a very simple loop. I have a kick, which sounds like this, and then I have two drum loops. They are basically the same, only loop number 1 has an extra open hi-hat in it. So this is how it sounds. And then with loop number 1, just for some variation right there. Talking about chords for minimal deep house, deep tech, the chords are very important and the sound of the chords are very important, but most often what I find is mostly the timing is very important, that it has the right groove and that it flows very well throughout the track. But I will just first quickly show you a few VSTs that I really like to use when I am going for some deep house sounds. I really like the Repro 5. You've probably seen me use it before. It's very well known. I mean, Josh Baker, Syntho, they all use it. I also really like the System 8 from Roland. I've also showed this before in my videos. If you haven't seen it, it's in a few of my videos. It's a really cool synth. It's not as versatile as the Repro 5, but that also makes it very, very straight to the point. Like, if it's not working, it's not gonna work. If it works, every preset will be amazing. The Anna 2, which is like a real underdog. I don't see a lot of producers use this VST. I've actually showed this one in the top 5 VSTs I'm currently using a few months ago. Then another plugin that I like to use lately a lot is the Promars, also from Roland. Super cool synth. Not versatile at all. Very weird sounds, but sometimes that's exactly what you want. But let's go start with the Repro 5, because I think that most of you guys will probably have this synth, or this is definitely a synth that you can just purchase because you're gonna use it anyways, because it's not just for deep house. It's so versatile. This whole synth, all the sounds are so versatile. So let's go. Let's quickly listen to the drums. I muted the kick for now because I like working with the kick closed or muted. And let's just go through some presets. So let's just go to synths, and I like to start from the end. So let's start playing in a C sharp minor. So, for those who are not the best in music theory, use a transposer when you do these type of things, because with a transposer, it's going to be very easy for you to see which keys are in the scale that you want. It doesn't even matter, like I turn the transposer off when I use it, because if I turn it on, it will actually, if I will play an F, it will actually play an F sharp or an E. I turn it off so that, because there are chords sometimes where you can use notes that are not in the scale, because the chord itself will be in the scale. But use a transposer, it's very handy. I'm not sure if Ableton has one, but you can just Google it. It's super easy. Just looking for a nice... That was actually quite cool, but then maybe we can just kill that delay. I don't really like this Lyrebird delay. That's pretty cool. Let's maybe record that. So basically what I'm doing... So I'm not the very best keyboard player. I know my way around the keys. I can play, I'm better with some rhythms than I'm actually with chords. But what I'll do is I will just find like a dual chord or a triplet, and I will play it when I like it. So now I'm just playing a dual chord with an F sharp and a C sharp. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna record the rhythm that I feel for this track. And then later I will go to the MIDI and I will actually extend the chord to maybe like a fifth or quad chord to make it more interesting. And let's play with this. So first I'm gonna quantize it. I will probably dequantize it later, but just so that I exactly know the timing that I'm kind of interested in. And let's start by grabbing the transposer again and quickly look at what we have available as some keys, and then I will and then maybe here we can actually go for root C. Something like this. Something like this. And then maybe here we can just make like a just a dual MIDI. That's actually quite cool. So let's loop that. And as you hear, there is some sort of LFO automation on the filter, which I actually really like. You see, there is the wheel modulation is added on the filter, which makes the filter slowly close and open. And I think it's really cool, but I just want the filter to be closed a bit more all the time. And I want the sound to be more stabby, so I'm gonna give it a shorter release. And I'm just gonna give the filter a little bit of envelope. That's too long. Add some reverb back into it. It's cool, I like it, but I'm not the biggest fan of the chord yet. So let's see if maybe we can... Maybe it's just too complicated. Maybe let's make it a triad. It's very basic. It's beter. Oh, I'm talking in Dutch over here. That's beter. This cool. I like this. And we keep that automation of the LFO. Now, if you don't know how to do that, it's quite easy. Over here is the wheel modulation. And then you just send the filter, you activate the filter on the wheel modulation. And then over here, you can select what the wheel modulation actually does. Is it triggered by the LFO? Or is it triggered by the sample and stuff? I'm not really sure actually what the SNH does. It's probably something, I haven't really looked into it. But in this case, it's like for over 50% the LFO. So you'll see if I lift the rate of the LFO, you can hear that the filter is going faster. Let's just go back sort of to where it was. Now this is really cool. And then now I'm just going to... So let's go for the Anna. And let's actually go for some deep house keys or something. And then I'm gonna do a similar sound, but similar effect, I'm sorry, as with the LFO. But then I'm gonna use an external plugin for this. So I'm gonna use the guitar rig from Native Instruments, which is absolutely insane. And I'm going to add a filter. I'm going to use the filter bank. And I'm also going to use the LFO tool on it. Now, I'm just going to leave this for now. And now you see this is the sound is being made by the guitar rig. This is cool. I just want a shorter release. A bit less reverb. Where is the plate? like it. Something like this, I think, is going to be very cool. Let's quantize it. And let's see, I only need, I think somewhere around here, I think was the best part. So let's just loop this. Nice. Okay, let's go back to the first keys and give them some swing. Thought so. I wasn't really sure what would happen. So not much is happening. So let's just leave it and then we'll just add some manual swing. Let's just take this and drag it like a bit back. I like it. And maybe we can also drag this one just a bit. I like it. And then this one, let's see what happens when we add swing to this one. It's only gonna move it forward. So let's also leave it and then I'll do it manually. I'm only gonna add swing to the last one, because then it actually gonna start to feel as if it's not sort of looped. It is looped, obviously. And let's actually see what happens if we just put like a full 16th. I like it. And maybe even further. Maybe this is okay, like this. I like it. And then we're going to the guitar rig. So this filter is absolutely insane, and I'm just going to drag this LFO to the stretch, and I'm also going to drag it to the shift, and then I'm going to open this whole thing so that I can see how much I'm actually, I'm not sending it to the shift, how much I'm actually sending it to, and I am going to skip. Triangle actually could be cool, and then let's sync it. Something like this. And then let's add a delay. Let's add the... Where is the tractor delay? Ooh! Some slap delay. And let's see how it goes now when the kick will come in. Okay, there you go, guys. There you go. So this is how you can make some really cool, deep, minimal, deep tech chords. So don't overcomplicate it. If you're not the best at playing the keys, just try to learn to find your way around the keys enough so that you can find rhythms and then go into the midi and draw the chords that you like and just play around with them, you know. And another trick that I did here in this video is actually combining two different sounds together to make like a chord progression and make it more interesting. You know, these two sounds are now sort of communicating with each other. They have a similar type of effect with a filter that's opening or, you know, shifting with an LFO. So make them communicate together and let them tell the story together, which is so often gonna be more easy to make it interesting as compared to just using one synth and one sound. There you go. I hope you like it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next video. Ciao, ciao.